going on, everybody? Haven't done one of these in a long time, but I got a review for Blue Beetle. Now, before I get into the hullabaloo about all the things going around with Blue Beetle, I'm gonna give you my opinions on it. So we are introduced to Jaime Reyes, aka Blue Beetle, a boy back home, freshly from college. I think it was mentioned that he went to Gotham City U, or it was something in Gotham. He reference to Batman, and he comes home to find out that not everything as it seems. He came home to a bit of a little problem. By little I mean big. So to help his family with this problem, he ends up working for Victoria Core, or the new head of Core Industries, who is feuding with her niece Jenny Core, as they two butting heads over who should be the true head of Core Industries, after the disappearance of Ted Core, Jenny's father, Victoria's brother. Victoria, though, to save the company and prove that she should be the head of the company, she has an excavation and finds the scarab. Jenny, who's suspicious of her aunt, investigates and finds that she has the scarab. That's, as we've seen in the trailer. She hides the scarab in a big belly burger box and gives it to Jaime. Now, how Jaime fits into all this, or how he even got to that point, as we saw in the trailer, where he goes to Core Industries, I'll leave that for you if you haven't seen the movie to see. But let's just say an interaction happens, and thus here we are, and he's given the scarab. That's, as we see in the trailer, as he told not to look in the box, he looks in the box anyway. The scarab activates, thus transforming him into the superhero Blue Beetle. Now, from there, he goes on this venture and learning who and what the scarab is, and basically what his new life and destiny holds for him. This movie, now that I got in the little premise and basics out the way, the movie wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Now, I saw this after all the reviews, after it's tanking at the box office. It's not as bad, at least in my opinion. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I honestly mean that too. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. The visuals, for the most part, was great. It was wonky in some areas, but for the most part, it was good. I like the visual, I like the special effects and all that, for the most part. One of the best scenes when it comes to visuals wise is when, as we say in the trailer, when the scarab first attaches itself to him and transforms him into Blue Beetle. That was one of the most. It was good. The visuals and the special effects and everything, it conveyed that whole realism very well. Like, that whole scene conveys the realism to how we would actually react to seeing, like, our brother or our sister or cousin, whoever you want to put in that scenario, be attached to the ceiling and their skin slowly transforming into this armor, into the Blue Beetle. So in that regard, I love everybody's reaction, especially George Lopez. Speaking of which, George Lopez was another thing I enjoyed about this movie. George Lopez, he killed it in this movie. He was funny. A lot of the laughs came from him. I love the character he portrayed. He was like a conspiracy theorist nut, and he didn't like Batman or Superman. He didn't like Batman. I think he says, like they said in the trailer, he called Batman a pacifist and all that type of stuff. but everybody there served a purpose to push Jaime into his role and to further legacy of becoming the Blue Beetle. I think Jaime is the first Blue Beetle, but I think in the comics, Ted, Jenny's father, that is the second person to take up the mantle of Blue Beetle. Um, the acting was good. I love the acting in it for the most part. Even though I said George Lopez the most, the acting was good. It was some things I didn't like. Getting into that, the things I didn't like was that the story in some places felt like drawn out. It felt long. Like it took long to get to the point where I was like nodding off. Like I was watching it, I'll nod off because it was just so much talking that felt like that just didn't need to be there. Obviously, that's why I said that's what's going to get into my next. I'm going to transition here in a minute to my next pro or the thing I like about the movie. But it felt like the story just took a little long in certain areas. But what I was going to transition to is I forgot the pro of me liking the plot. The overall plot. Not just the particular thing, because the particular things in the plots I didn't like. But overall, plot wise, the movie was good. Overall, it was good. I enjoyed the plot for the most part. Like I said, there was some things like it was just because I didn't know, because I know about Blue Beetle, but I'm not a super Blue Beetle fan, so I don't know a lot of things about him. But I know enough to know that some of the things was like, okay, I see what you changed for the movie here. I think if I'm not mistaken, Blue Beetle, the Jaime, he's not supposed to be a college age student. He's supposed to be more of a I want to say more of a high school student, if I'm mistaken, but I could be wrong. But that's neither here nor there. Great story. The characters was fine. I love the grandmother. The grandmother was funny too. I'm trying to figure out. The villains was lackluster. I felt like they didn't really have a noticeable villain for this movie. This was more so just another person in a scare. I know Black Beetle is supposed to be like his main villain, but this was, because there's another scarab out there for Black Beetle. But I feel like the villains was like a little weak. I like I think that's part of the visuals. I said that about the visuals. I like the visuals. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't like certain aspects of the story. Certain characters and villains were lackluster, but overall, like it wasn't like it wasn't that when I say characters and lackluster, I don't mean like I enjoy Jaime and his family. They was lackluster in just the fact that they really weren't given much to do in this movie other than just being fuel to push Jaime to become the hero he could be type tropes, But I do love the that was another thing I was trying. It is culturally Mexican, Latina, Puerto Rican, whatever you want to call it. It is very cultural in that aspect, and I enjoy that too. And I feel like Mexican, Latina, Puerto Ricans, you would really enjoy this more than I will, because you will understand more of the references than I did. But I understood a lot. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 big ups. And for those who don't know and are new to the channel, that means that a 6 for me is that it is above average and it barely made it as a movie. If a movie is good enough for me to put, like when it comes out on a DVD, to put in my movie collection, that's a movie I will probably rewatch again. There is a post-credit scene. I think it's just one Yeah, just one post credit scene, and I think it's a mid credit scene. It's not. I don't think there's no end credit, but there is a mid credit. This is a movie I would buy on DVD, and I will watch it if I want to have like a marathon of DC movies. I would play Blue. I will watch Blue Beetle again. Um, but yeah, it's worth checking out if you're a DC fan. Despite what they saying about it, it's a fun time at the movie theaters. Could have been better. It could have been way better. I felt like that's what held it down was that it's so much change going with the DC movies that people just really can't get into it because people are going to expect now that this movie is going to suck. And movies as of late now, whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, has been sucking. And I believe it's due to the writing and it's due to not having passion behind it. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoyed my review, you know what to do. You hit that button right there for all of my movie or TV show reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much, you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit those buttons. And as always, I think I did that right. Yeah. As always, hit one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But to go anywhere, because I got reactions galore coming out of this. I mean, I'm going to bombard you with reactions. Peace.